I have a pretty good commute, so I thought commuting with the candidate would be something that I could do, talk a little about who I am, my policy, things that are just going on that are just absolutely batshit crazy, or need to be done differently. So a little about who I am really quick. My name is Elizabeth Moreda. I am a congressional candidate for District 38, at least it's District 38 at the moment. Who knows with the redistricting what it'll actually end up being. We're all going to be, in for a surprise together. But for now, it is District 38. It is currently run by Linda Sanchez. Linda Sanchez has been our rep for a congressional representative for the last nearly 20 years, 10 terms. She became our rep over the last redistricting, which have been 10 years ago when we ended up having her into our district, but she was actually already a rep for part of our district. Long story short, she's was brought into Congress through her sister, Loretta Sanchez. So, keeping it in the family. And I actually originally started my campaign run because I was looking to support Linda Sanchez. I'm definitely guilty of previously doing the Democratic checkbox. And I know I voted for her in the past. And so I would say around the time Bernie first did his presidential run, that was when I really got involved with politics and kind of just fell in love with the whole system and the belief behind it, because honestly I thought politics was a real elitist game. I didn't think it was for regular people or that it even mattered what I thought, that my vote counted. I actually was raised thinking I was a Republican, forgive me now, but I'm positive that I had voted Republican at some point in time in my life because my dad was a staunch Republican. I didn't really know enough about what it was, and then Bernie came out of nowhere and woke up a nation, and myself included, and got me really involved into what was going on. And hey, you're right, this should be about you and me. This should be about the working class too. We're the majority. We work our asses off, and I can't even afford a savings, let alone an emergency. And it's devastating, and part of it has to do with where I live. It's not like a choice. California is so expensive, and there's so many people in the same situation that I am. Where am I going to work if I get out of this state? It's not like my company is just opening up transfers here and there to any state I choose, and it's not so easy to get a company out of state to hire you and pay for your relocation. So it's when everybody has that whole talking point about why do you live there if it's so expensive, or if you don't like it. Yeah, some people, they don't have that opportunity. I personally can't even afford a house out here in California. It's insane, right? So I have 2 degrees. I have my bachelor's in design. I have a master's in business administration. I have a really good paying job, and I still can't afford a damn house out here. And even if I wanted to buy a house out here, a 2-bedroom in my area, which I do not live on the beach, I live like in the inner city, Norwalk. If I had wanted to even get a 2-bedroom, a rundown, we're talking needs repairs big time, maybe 1,000 square feet if I'm lucky, it's $500,000. I remember in my own lifetime when $500,000 was beyond insane of a number for any kind of house, and now I am looking to pay that. I previously owned a home when I got out of the military. When I got out of the Army, I bought a house, and I could have bought 2 of them for the amount that you can get one rundown shack out here in California. So let me just tell you, a big part of it, politics and our congressional leaders representing the working class has to do with the cost of living and our quality of life. And so I was looking originally to get in touch with Linda Sanchez's campaign to see how I could help out. I had been really interested in helping out since locally with school site councils and PTA originally, and then helping out with people who were trying to run for our city council and school board. So I really want to get involved more, on a bigger scale. So I reached out to her office, no response, no reply. Like, nobody was getting back to me. Reached out again and again, and then I started looking more into Linda Sanchez, and there's so many red flags. So as I mentioned, like, California, enormously expensive, right? We can't afford to buy houses out here. Healthcare is out of control for not just people, by the way, but businesses spend so much money on our privatized healthcare system. It's disgusting. So, looking into her, opensecrets.com, guys, I can't recommend it enough. Finding out where all her money comes from, it was really disheartening to see that the healthcare industry, big pharma, and the real estate industry are her three biggest donors. And so when those are your three biggest donors, tell me how in the world you're going to stand for meaningful infrastructure that builds affordable housing. Tell me how you're going to fight for Medicare for all or universal health care for your constituents. You're not, because we don't pay you enough money for your time and your care and your concern for policies like that. As a matter of fact, there's a video out there where the California Nurses Association actually put the question to Linda Sanchez, will you support universal health care? And she would not say yes. She continued to be an ADA champion, and to the Affordable, the Affordable Care Act, ACA champion, I apologize. The Affordable Care Act needs to be fixed, and we need to continue to push that forward. Well, forget you and your Affordable Care Act. Sorry, to whatever's left of Obama's legacy, but that's not going to cut it. That didn't cut it when it first came out. It was still too god dang expensive. And I went from, and by the way, I'm a veteran, and I do have a disability rating, so I do get free Medicare, and I should tell medical through the VA. And I should tell you that that's also another shame that people fight for this country, but you can only get free medical through the VA if you are injured in the line of duty, or if you're injured while you're there. I mean, I guess luckily I got injured, but that doesn't cover my family. We should do more for our vets. We should do better for our vets. They should get medical coverage, period. It doesn't matter if they're injured. Their families should get coverage, period. So anyway, for just my family, the Affordable Care Act, I was still paying close to $800 for bare minimum coverage. It was not even good coverage. It wasn't even that gold tier or whatever platinum tiers they are. I didn't even look at those. It was like silver, bronze. And it's not any better going through my work. It's still about $700 just to get my family covered. So it's an insane chunk of people's paychecks. So with those three things that she just really had funding her, I knew that there wasn't going to be any real policy changes that benefited the working class, at least not from her. Not that she was going to propose, not to mention her being on a chair, the Ways and Means board, being a member of that committee, and still not pushing for affordable health care, or universal health care, or any other affordable housing and infrastructure programs that would actually change the lives of working class families. That was just a huge no-go for me. I'll tell you right now, with this current reconciliation bill, there was a list of people who refused to sign the bipartisan corporate handout infrastructure bill unless the reconciliation bill was passed by both the Senate and the House. And her name, not one of the ones on the list. She was not decided at that time, which goes right to where, her voting history goes, because she's 100% with Nancy Pelosi, and I do not see eye to eye with a lot of Nancy Pelosi. So last but not least, right, looking more into her, finding out, final straw, she does not live in California. I say that again, does not live in California. She lives in Connecticut. She actually does own a house out here in Whittier, which she rents out and claims on her income reports. She also collected rent all throughout 2020, so I don't know who she's renting to, but she was one of those landlords collecting it. So she, I guess, decided that she wasn't waiving rent for her tenant. Hopefully they were a independently wealthy person that wasn't affected by the pandemic. Hopefully that Linda Sanchez's choice to continue to collect rent was not a burden on them. I would sincerely hope that would be the case if she was going to be in public office, realize what people were going through, and still collect rent. Either way, her not living in California is just it's a big no-go. She, you know, it's bad enough if you don't live in the district, let alone not living in the state itself. You cannot know what's going on with people here. You cannot know what we are going through. You cannot know what the day-to-day life is like for us out here. You do not participate in our economy. You do not pitch into our small businesses. You are not here for your constituents. You're not here or available for people that need you. You're not even on the same damn time zone. So yeah, I would say all in all, the more I learned about Linda Sanchez, the less I was able to support her. And the more I started getting out there talking to my neighbors that were going through a hard time with the pandemic once it hit, the more I was encouraged to step up and run. I had a lot of neighbors that were being evicted wrongfully. They were not getting responses back from her office. Not that I thought that they would, but then my daughter's best friend had to move because it was just wholly unaffordable out here, and it was heartbreaking. It was a heartbreaking year. I'm in the hospitality industry. It was a stressful year. I'm gonna go into that on another video, but overall, those are my motives for running. The more I talked to, the more people thought, hey, something needs to change. We need more progressive voices that are there to support the working class, and I'm going to be one of those voices. So thanks so much for listening. I'm going to have my link down below as well. If you like my message, if you like these videos, please continue listening. Please subscribe, add me to your favorites. Please donate to my campaign, because as much as grassroots champions want to change the world, we can't do so without funding. So I appreciate any generous contribution you can give. So thank you so much for subscribing and listening, and have a great day.